What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team, and welcome to Mother Night Mic'd Up. Yeah, we're here. We are here another Monday night, and we're getting ready to dive into some serious conversation tonight. Now, I know we've been talking about Micah Parson and how he has stated several times that he doesn't need $40 million to play football. What does that really mean for for, for Micah? But we're going to talk about this, and I want to share something with that's been put out there, and you guys tell me what you think. But Micah Parson did make the statement that he didn't have to have $40 million to play football. But after Miles Garrett and Josh Sweat, he might be saying all bets off. Let's get into it. Yeah. I think we've all heard what Michael Parsons said. I don't have to repeat again. I even did a video about these about Michael Parsons and his chance of. I got company. All right, tell everybody hello. All right, tell them your name. Kobe. Her name is Kobe. All right, Kobe, tell everybody good night. Good night. All right, well, Papa will be in there in a little bit, okay? All right, bye bye. It never fails. Give it up for Kobe. And I wouldn't be surprised if the other ones come in. I should shut the door, but I'm not going to do that. But anyway, so let's get into this. It never fails. I'm telling you, every one of my videos got one of my G babies on there, my grandbabies on there. But anyway, we talked about that about Josh Sweat. We also talked about Miles Garrett. Now, Miles Garrett just signed an extended contract along with Josh Sweat. I think Josh Sweat signed a contract for 4 years for $76.4 million. Give it up. And then our guy Miles Garrett signed a contract for $125 million. So now, what does that say about Michael Parson? Michael Parson probably saying, "All bets off." But do we blame Micah? Do we blame Micah for saying, hey, okay, no deal. Now it's time to reconfigure of what I'm going to play for. Now it hasn't been said yet because there's some talk out there about still trying to trade Micah Parsons and see what they can get for him and things like that. We talked about if Shador, some big time receiver, falls at 12, would Dallas be willing to trade Micah Parsons for a certain pick or anything? Some crazy stuff. But we talked about that as well. But here's the deal. The conversation is about Micah Parson and what Micah Parson will do here on out, knowing that Josh Sweat and Mal Garrett has been signed to one of the largest, well, I'm not going to say largest, but uh, a large extended contract. Now, it's possible that now that Micah Parson could be the highest paid non-quarterback in history. That's what I said, in history. And what do I mean by that? So there's a report out there that is by USA Today Touchdown. They shared a graph on what it would look like if the proposed contract is offered to Micah. Let's see if we can pull this up, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. So here's the contract right here, and this is what they're talking about. This is a Micah Parsons 5-year, $205 million contract, but it got 6 years down here. So, and not only that, but there's base salary. There's a base salary down here, but it's also options. So they have options on how they can offer this contract to Michael Parson. But this is a 205 million, and at the end of the day, it's a $229 million contract. I got my setups different. I got everything's set up. But if we look at this contract, and we're starting in 2025, he'll get a $9 million base salary with a $5.5 million signing bonus, which you'll get, the cash of 36 million. It's 36.5 million. Okay, if he would go with the signing bonus, then in option one, he'll get a $9 million base salary with no signing bonus, but he'll still get the 36 million. And then in option two, he won't get a signing bonus until 2028 for 5 million, all the way through. Well, basically, we'll say 2030 because the 2031, 32 is kind of void years. But with that being said, with the option two, uh, because he'll get more money, as far as cash is being said, but that 5 million be added on top of what his cash would be for the season. And then you have the option three. You have option three starting at 2029 is when he'll get his bonus. It's 2029, and on top of $48 million, and which will give him a cap hit of 39.5 million cap hit. But there are options. If you guys can see that these are options that they can offer Micah Parsons, and which again, this could be one of the largest contracts for a non-quarterback in the history of football. So, with that being said, this is all because this all boils back down because our owner and our general manager has continued to play the game of waiting, and he's have waited to where now you got to pay the loot. So that's where we are with Micah Parsons. This just is the proposed contract and what it would look like if Micah Parsons does sign a contract. It would probably look something similar like this. But basically, man, looking at this is some, this it's some heavy money with a total of matter of fact, it's a total guaranteed of a 124.6 million. Okay. Full guaranteed is 66.6 million plus 22.5 million, which equals $89.1 million for Michael Parsons. That is a deal that cannot be turned down. That is a deal that Michael Parsons was definitely will accept and be happy to have that in his bank account. So, with that being said, what do you guys think? I mean, it looks like a great deal and look like this is something that we can look forward to. So, keep your eye open and let's see how they do with Michael Parson and this contract. But this is just a little mock up proposal contract to Michael Parson, which was brought to us by yeah, USA Today touchdown. And I appreciate them for setting this up. But as you can see that it's an offer, and this could be one of the largest offer of a non-quarterback in the history of football. So, guys, y'all tell me what you guys think about this deal. I mean, and how do you feel uh, about Micah and his position right now, and what is your expectation with Micah Parson? And I'm sure once he get the loot, we're going to expect a lot more out of him. But again, this is what's offered. And hopefully this is what we might see here soon in the near future. But there is still a possibility that they could try to think about trading Michael Parsons. Now Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones might say, "Wait, this is bananas. We can't offer this kind of money." Then again, this could be a drawn up contract that they are probably have in mind to offer Michael Parsons. But you know, again, it has yet to be seen, and we're still playing the waiting game. But you guys tell me what you guys think. What would you do with Micah? How does this contract look acceptable, or is it too much, or would you restructure this in another way? But in the comments, you guys let me know what you guys think and how would you deal with this situation with Michael Parsons. But anyway, I'm not gonna hold you long tonight. I just wanted to get on here and share this with you. I thought it was a real great. It was a great setup and what we could see with Michael Parsons. So, with that being said, man, just let me know what you think. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you share the video. Again, like I always say, continue to stay safe and be blessed. Deuces.